Good afternoon. Uh, Welcome to the 39th lecture of Industrial Management and Smart Technologies. So, today we are in the topic 39. The topic to be discussed is Introduction to the E Tendering process, E Procurement process, the principles, the steps, applications, and Introduction to the RFID. So, these are the topics we'll deal in this class. So, maximum in this class we shall complete the unit 4. From tomorrow onwards we can see the unit 5, right? Let's switch on to the next process. Yes. Okay, so till now we have discussed about the types of materials management, the stores department, the purchasing department, the procedure in purchasing department, material handling systems, etc. So now in this session we are discussing about some sort of internet of things. So the name IoT, Internet of Things. So in that Internet of Things, we are having number of applications to work with. In the among all these applications, the one of the application which we are discussing in this session is e-tendering process. So with this, you can come to know you already listened the word tender. మీరు ఆల్రెడీ వినే ఉంటారు టెండర్ అంటే ఏంటి. టెండర్ మీన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ ప్రాసెస్ తెలుగులో పాట పాడడం అంటారు. సో వీ హ్యావ్ సీన్ ఇన్ మూవీస్ ఆల్సో. సో టెండరింగ్ మీన్స్ ఇట్స్ ఎ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ a business type regarding the products, regarding the land, regarding the building, regarding the any space available, right? By quoting some rate and you are entering into the public domain. So we are sending all the information into the public domain so that the tenders will be quoted by the people. Means what is the meaning of E? E means electronic procurement. E means electronic. E-tendering means electronic tendering. E-procurement means electronic procurement. So e-procurement, e-tendering, sometimes also known as supplier exchange. Supplier exchange means supplier to supplier exchange. So is a business to business or business to consumer or business to government. So business to business. How it is business to business means ఒక బిజినెస్ చేసేవాడికి ఇంకొక బిజినెస్ సేమ్ బిజినెస్ చేసేవాళ్ళకి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఏ, if other person is manufacturing product B, but product B is useful for A and product A is useful for B. So whenever you are doing business to business among with between you, it is also known as e-procurement process or business to consumer. For example, whenever you are purchasing the item from the directly from the business people, so that is simply known as business to consumer. And business to government, so for example in government offices like revenue office, MRO office, collector office, so for them if you need any furniture, so what they will do, ఒక ఫర్నిచర్ కావాలి, ఒక 200 tables, 200 desk, అవి ఇవి కావాలి. So what they will do, they will not directly purchase in any shop. First they will release a tender to the public notice. ఒక న్యూస్ పేపర్లో ఒక టెండర్ వేస్తారు. సో మాకు ఇన్ని మెటీరియల్స్ కావాలి, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అ క్వాంటిటీ, దిస్ ఈజ్ అ సో అండ్ సో టైం పీరియడ్. సో ఎవరు మాకు మంచి రేట్కి ఇస్తారు. Then by seeing those advertisement in the paper or in the any brochure, the people who are doing furniture business or timber business, they will give the quotation. So by getting 3 or 5 to 15 or whatever the quotations within the given time, so they will see the quotations and whomsoever among all 20 quotations లో ఎవరైతే మంచిగా తక్కువ కోట్ చేసి మంచి క్వాలిటీ ఇస్తున్నారో, then they will finalize the tendering. Once the tendering is done, next procurement process అనేది start అవుతుంది. So that is a simple concept of tendering process. Now business to government purchase and sale of suppliers work and services. So what for So this is for sale of supplies, sale of work, sale of service through the internet, as well as the other information and networking systems such as electronic data interchange and enterprise resource planning, ERP. Okay, so this is simple definition of e-tendering process. The e-procurement value chain consists of intent management, e-informing, electronic informing, e-tendering, electronic tendering, e-auctioning, electronic auctioning, vendor management, catalog management, purchase order integration, order starters, ship notice, e-invoicing, e-payment, contracting management. So all these are the terms related to the business. Okay, what is the meaning of e here? Everything is happened through electronic media. So simple example, we are having an online class. How we are doing online class? Simply by internet. And the devices are mobile phone and laptop or desktop. So how it is done? Because of this electronic supplies. In the same way, the person who is our Zoom app, whomsoever doing is a same that kind of guy where he can do a number of business. Right now, this part of this value chain is optional, with individual procuring departments defining the intending process. In other words, procurement, administrative approval, and technical sanction are obtained in electronic format. In goods procurement, intent generation activity is done online. Right? Intent transaction is done online. Here, here the end result of the stage is taken as the inputs of issuing the NIT. So the end results are taken into the National Institute of. So for this process, every person who is doing business or who is requiring services or who is supplying the material, so they will use the platform of electronic media. So all these things, whatever the auctioning అంటే ఏంటి? Auction means వేలం పాట వేయడం. Vendor management means the person who is selling. Catalog management, purchase order integration, e-informing, e-communication, all these things are related to the electronic media. Next, elements of e-procurement include, what are the elements? Require for information, request for information. For example, if you want anything, you should not ask directly. So definitely you have to go for requisition, request for information, request for proposal. Propose చేయాలి. First thing is you have to go for proposal, whether accept or not, you should be optimal. First you go for proposal, request for information, request for quotation. Once the proposal is done, then you will get quotation. తర్వాత ఏమొస్తుంది? రిక్వెస్ట్ ఫర్ కొటేషన్ అయిన తర్వాత once they finalize the deal, so next day morning you can go for the your original process, that is request for quotation అయిన తర్వాత once the quotation is accepted, you go for the direct invoice and RFX and ERFX, electronic radio frequency projects. The purpose of e-tendering is to enhance the process of tendering, for the procurement of specialized works, goods, and considering services low volume and get high value. Got it? The purpose of e-tendering is to enhance, means uplift, is to the process of tendering for the procurement of specialized works, goods or consulting services of low volume but high value. So తక్కువ వాల్యూమ్ ఉండి ఎక్కువ లాభం వచ్చే హై కాస్ట్లో ఉండే ప్రోడక్ట్స్ని కానీ సర్వీసెస్ని కానీ కన్సల్టింగ్ వర్క్స్ని కానీ అందించడము అనేది the purpose of e-tendering process. అర్థమైందా? Next, what are the benefits of this e-tendering process? Implementing an e-procurement system benefits all levels of organization. First point, implementing e-procurement concept benefits all levels of organization. E-procurement systems offer improved spend visibility and control the health awareness officers, right? Health awareness officers match purchases with purchase orders, receipts, and job tickets. An e-procurement system also manages tenders through a website. Simply, for example, Guntur, if I take a Guntur example, the Guntur Municipal Corporation, they have a website, and all this A1 contractor, A class contractor, B class contractor. So generally these people will frequently visit the website and they will see is there any notices are there. So like this, when the notices are approved or confirmed, then directly you can come to know by the one day before what's the process happening, right? Next, disadvantages. Because the vendor is obtaining more information. So what is doing here? Because the vendor is getting the more information about the customer than in case of normal supply chain management structure. A major disadvantage of e-procurement might be incentive to the vendor to take advantage of the customer. So what is the disadvantage is having? So the vendor getting more information about the customer. అంతే కదా, once you go for a quotation, so definitely if you are a vendor, you will get more information about the customer. Normal cases కంటే ఈ టెండర్ కేసెస్లో you will get more information than normal in case of normal supply chain management structure. The major disadvantage of e-procurement might be incentive of the vendor to take advantage to the customer, right? So if there is any incentives, then they will get the problem. So already they have quoted for a less price. So if there is a given of incentive, then automatically you will get a problem. Inclination means you will get a negative impression for the advantage for the customer process. అంటే ఏంటి? సో వెండర్ కస్టమర్ అడ్వాంటేజ్ తీసుకునే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. వై? బికాస్ యు ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ మోర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ విత్ ద వెండర్. దట్ ఈస్ అ ప్రాబ్లం. మీన్స్ దే విల్ థ్రెట్ యూ. లేదంటే ఇంకా తక్కువ కోట్ చేయమంటారు. లేదంటే దే విల్ ఆస్క్ టు డూ సమ్ మిస్chief బికాస్ ఆఫ్ గవర్నమెంట్ సర్వీసెస్, గవర్నమెంట్ మనీ. దే విల్ పుట్ ఫర్ హై థింగ్స్ అండ్ దే కెన్ డూ ఫర్, రైట్? So these are some of the disadvantages of this e-procurement, e-tendering process, right? Next, procurement audit checklist. Next, next one, procurement audit checklist. What is the meaning of procurement? Purchasing of the material. How you are procuring once the tender is confirmed. Once the tender is confirmed, then you are going for the final inspection and closing the terms and conditions and accepting the deal. So the terms and condition checklist means you should have all the details with respect to the all information. Whether the overall procurement, one second. Then what is the meaning of e-procurement process? E-procurement is the application of technology to the public procurement. So what type of technology you are adding? You are adding internet technology. E-procurement means it is the application of technology to the public procurement. Means you are sending the information to the public notice. So the e-procurement implementation strategy is a management and reform program. So definitely it is a strategy management. It is a management process and reformation program because it is an electronic concept. It applies to the acquisition of works, goods and services. So what it will take, it takes, these are applied for taking of works, goods, services. So that is simply done by the majority government people, or the private sectors also will do the process. For example, take an example of any big industry like Reliance or BHEL, like that. So what is the purpose of, what is the concept of BHEL? Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. So it is a Navratna based company. They will manufacture all kinds of heat exchangers, furnaces, big tunnels, right? Big blowers, centrifugal pumps, big turbine blades. So these big manufacturing concern. So when they get any orders, so what they will do? So because of the heavy work, huge work what they are having, వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారు? దిస్ బిహెచ్ఎల్ కంపెనీకి వర్క్స్ ఎక్కువైపోయి, లేదంటే స్టాఫ్ తక్కువ ఉండి, లేదంటే టైం లేక, సో వాళ్ళకి ఏదైతే ఒక తక్కువ రోజులో ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ వస్తున్నాయో, obviously they will send it to the other purpose, the other setup, right? The other setup. Then what happens there? This BHL management will call for tendering process. They will ask for whoever interested for doing this process, let me know and tell your quotation. Once the quotation, they will get hundreds of quotation. దాంట్లో నుంచి సార్ట్ అవుట్ చేసి ఎవరైతే తక్కువ కోట్ చేసి మంచిగా ఇచ్చిన టైంకి ఇస్తారో దే విల్ prefer those people and they will start doing the work. That is simply the e-tendering process. Procurement ante once the tendering is done, next going for the what stage? Procurement stage. అది కూడా same process, just only for calculating of the money. So the objectives all the satisfies the improvement and efficiency of the procurement process. Next, what is the audit checklist? How we will checklist the procurement process? First one is whether the procurement plans and audit list prepared and displayed. So whether the procurement plan and procurement analysis procurement process is displayed or not. That is the first point. Second point, whether the procurements were made as per the procurement plan. So second point is whether the procurements are made as per the procurement plan. సో ముందు అనుకున్న దాని ప్రకారంగా ప్రొక్యూర్మెంట్ ప్లాన్ ప్రకారం జరిగిందా లేదా. నెక్స్ట్ థర్డ్ పాయింట్, whether the method adopted for procurement and all the steps as per the purchase policy were taken or not. So what method they have been employed for procurement and what are the steps they have took for purchase policy. Next, whether the tender selection committee, evaluation committee was constituted and involved in the procurement procedure. Right? Next one, whether the tender selection committee, evaluation selection committee was constituted and involved in the procurement procedure. సో ఎవరైతే కమిటీలో ఉన్నారో, ఏది టెండర్ సెలక్షన్ కమిటీలో అండ్ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్, టెండర్ సెలక్షన్ ఆర్ ఎవాల్యుయేషన్ కమిటీలో ఉన్నారో, వెదర్ దే హావ్ బీన్ ఇన్వాల్వ్డ్ ఇన్ ద ప్రొక్యూర్మెంట్ ప్రొసీజర్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయితే ఏం చేయాలి, ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవ్వకపోతే ఏం చేయాలి. సో Next point, whether the overall procurement was done within a reasonable time. So ఇచ్చిన టైంలో రీజనబుల్ టైంలో all the procurement process చేశారా లేదా, that is also one type of checklist you have to follow. Next point, whether there was any avoidable delay at any stage or stages of the procurement process, whether there was any avoidable delay or not. సో ఏదన్నా మనకి అవాయిడబుల్ డిలే అంటే మనం ఇగ్నోర్ చేసే పనులు ఏమన్నా ఉన్నాయా అంటే అది అంత ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాకుండా అవాయిడబుల్ అంటే మనము అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి ఆస్కారం అనే పనులు అవాయిడ్ చేసుకొని వీఆర్ ఫోకసింగ్ ఫర్ దిస్ procurement process. Next, whether there was an seventh point, whether the necessary approvals was taken from appropriate authority whenever required. So whatever the process is done, so the approvals has been done as per the checklist or not. So it has to be also checked before you are going for the procurement process. Next, whether proper and adequate documents are maintained. So ఈ process జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు everything you have to maintain properly. You should not remove any document. Everything is useful during the process. For example, coaching for not coaching for any దీనికి వెళ్ళారు, దేనికి సెలక్షన్కి, రీకౌంటింగ్ సెలక్షన్ ఆర్ ఎనీ. నెక్స్ట్ మీరు వన్స్ యూ రైట్ ద యువర్ ఎగ్జామ్ and you'll get qualified, they will ask for nearby center so that you can sit in the computer on the computer and you can ask for the questions. So in the same way, whether the whether the prerequisition land screening, right, whether the prerequisition screening for issues of tender documents was done properly or not. 10th point, whether the technical and financial evaluation was done properly in a fair manner or not. అంటే మనకి టెక్నికల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, ఆల్ ద డేటా అండ్ ఆ మనీకి సంబంధించిన ఫైనాన్షియల్ డేటా, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ రెడీ ఫర్ ద నెక్స్ట్ ప్రాసెస్, రైట్? సో లైక్ దిస్ ద procurement process goes everywhere. Only the thing changes is experiment. Only the thing changes is the process, right? Next point, what are the benefits of e-procurement process? Institutional compliance, institutional memory, single stop shop. So whenever you are using the electronic media, so definitely once you finalize the process, it is a single stop. Even though beside your place if you have the same products and services, but here if the person is giving less, automatically will purchase here only. Why? Because of backup having the cylinder. Next point, increased price transparency. So transparency everywhere, should have some transparency. So when there is no transparency in the public or private services, automatically problems have to face by the owner. Next, human touch points decreased. Absolutely. సో వన్స్ ఎప్పుడు ఒక టైంలో మీకు ఫుడ్ కావాలంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో అండ్ ఈట్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో టు రెస్టారెంట్ అండ్ ఈట్, ఆర్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రిపేర్ యువర్ ఓన్ ఫుడ్ అండ్ ఈట్. సో ఇప్పుడున్న పరిస్థితిలో ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్, the generation doesn't have time to work or time to enjoy, so what they will do, they will ask for online food delivery. So what they are doing, the same process, right? So here also the human touch point should be decreased. When there is a touch points, when ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్కి ఒక 2 కిలోమీటర్స్ మధ్యలో 5 స్టెప్ పాయింట్స్ ఉందంటే automatically the person will get problem, right? So maximum you have to avoid the human touch points. Increases internal efficiency. Next, be best value for the money. Equal opportunity, assure economic development. So these are the benefits of e-procurement process. Next, what are the wait one second. What are the methods of procurement process? Direct purchase process without quotation or tender, procurement by inviting the quotations, procurement by inviting the టెండర్స్. అంటే డైరెక్ట్ పర్చేజ్, ఇండైరెక్ట్ పర్చేజ్. డైరెక్ట్ పర్చేజ్ అంటే ఏంటి? వితౌట్ కొటేషన్ డైరెక్ట్గా వెళ్ళి తీసేసుకోవడం. ఇండైరెక్ట్ కొటేషన్ అంటే గివింగ్ ఫర్ ఇన్వైటింగ్ ద టెండర్ అండ్ ప్రొక్యూర్మెంట్ బై ఇన్వైటింగ్ ద కొటేషన్. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద 3 మెథడ్స్. బట్ ఇన్ డీప్ మీకు అవసరం లేదు, జస్ట్ ఓన్లీ టచ్ చేసి వదిలేయాలి మీ డిప్లొమా లెవెల్కి. నెక్స్ట్ టాపిక్ ఈస్ ఆర్ఎఫ్ఐడి. ఆర్ఎఫ్ఐడి అంటే రేడియో ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ identification, RFID. So everywhere you are seeing outside in this now in this technology is RFID only. Okay. For example, you are having your ID, right? So many people go to the ID section. So take the hand, take this that hand, right? So use it to identify the unique items using radio waves. So make example చెప్తే మీకు ఈజీగా అర్థమవుతుంది. Use it to identify unique items. For example, in your college, you are having this technology. How means మనకి JNT వాళ్ళు ఒక మెషిన్ ఇచ్చి your ID కార్డ్ని దాంట్లో స్వైప్ చేయండి అంటారు. Why? So this information will go to the JNT premises and they will check whether you have come college or not. Right or wrong? So by taking this process, what happens? So a person or a service or a goods definitely it will be notified. For example, same thing, GPS, GPRS, everything is related to the RFID technology. A reader communicates with a tag which holds digital information. Example, serial number in a microchip. Simple. So మీరు ఆఫీసెస్లో సెక్యూరిటీ గేట్స్ అదర్ థింగ్స్. So go to the, if you go to the table and take your ID card and swipe it or just keep it inside, the door will open. In a 5-star hotels, big things also the same process. So how it is done? By the concept of RFID, right? But the places from the different places, for example, take a supermarket, hyper mall, right? A shopping mall. There also they are using number of RFID tags. For example, if you go to any big supermarkets and if you purchase any clothing or any sandals, whatever it is, later మీరు ఒక 10 డ్రెస్సులు కొనుక్కొని వెళ్ళారు, దాంట్లో ఒక డ్రెస్ మీరు బిల్ వేయకుండా ఏదో దాన్ని మీరు కొట్టేద్దామని ప్లాన్ చేశారు. బట్ ఎవ్రీ డ్రెస్ ఈజ్ హ్యావింగ్ ఏ బ్లాక్ ప్లాస్టిక్ కార్డ్. సో మీరు అది బట్టల్లో పెట్టేసి మేనేజ్ చేసుకొని బయటకు వెళ్ళేది ప్రయత్నించారంటే బై ద సెన్సార్ టెక్నాలజీ, దిస్ RFID టెక్నాలజీ, ఏమవుతుంది? మీరు కరెక్ట్గా ఎంట్రన్స్ దగ్గర రాగానే బీప్ సౌండ్ వస్తుంది. దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్? Automatically they will stop you and they will check your baggage. So this technology will enhances the technology will this technology will gives the update information or a current information what the process is going on, right? So they uses a digital information by taking a tag. You are having a tag and a reader will communicate with this tag. అంటే ఎవరైతే ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ చదువుతున్నారో, ఎవరైతే ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ చూస్తున్నారో, like just like a computer. So here it holds digital information and gives the information to the reader which is stored in a microchip. RFID is like a barcode reader, but the reading is done remotely. బార్కోడ్ రీడర్ అంటే సింపుల్, మీరు ఏదైనా సూపర్ మార్కెట్స్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు మీకు బిల్లింగ్ వేస్తారు. సో దే విల్ టేక్ యువర్ ఎనీ సోప్ ఆర్ ఎనీ సమ్ అదర్ ప్యాకెట్ అండ్ దే విల్ take a barcode reader and they will press on it, then automatically the red light will appear. So this is also RFID technology. RFID doesn't require line of sight, serialized identification. The microchip attached to an antenna, a microchip attached to the antenna picks up the signals from the sends and signals to the reader. Ante simple thing. Each tag contains a unique serial number, the electronic product code. Electronic code. The microchip attached, okay. Each tag contains a unique serial number, the electronic product code. The antenna enables the chip to transmit the identification information to the reader. So see simply how it operates. So this is a computer which is nothing but an interface where you can see the data. So this is a reader which will read it. So this one is the antenna where you are placing. This one is a tag. So from the tag it receives the information and sends to the antenna. This antenna will give the information to the reader through the computer. So this is simple architecture of the technology. See here, simple things. You are having a reader, you are having an antenna, you are having a tag, you are having a computer. Next, coming to the RFID types, you are having categories such as passive RFID, semi-passive RFID, active RFID, semi-active RFID. Coming to the frequency, you are having low frequency, medium frequency, very high frequency, and ultraviolet also. Very frequency. Next, see how the process is going at 3D location. You are having a computer or a laptop or a tab. Next, this is connected to the reader or interrogator, and this is connected to the antenna. Next, from this antenna through the interface, this tag or a transponder, we are calling a tag or transponder. So this will get the information, and when the cell phone is nearer to this RFID technology, automatically you will also receive the information to the tag. Next, what are the interesting uses of RFID? See here, what are the applications of RFID? These are used for wireless ID tags. అంతే కదా? Example, a Barcelona nightclub uses RFID tags to automatically add drinks to the member car tabs. Montreal is planning to implement RFID system to allow registered users easy access to a new public bike system. Next application is game monitoring. Game monitoring means poker tables are coming equipped with RFID systems to monitor card movements and allow cameras to follow any desired movement. Shipping business. Next application is shipping business. RFID is beginning to proliferate in the shipping industry, allowing the easy tracking of, right. So what are the products they will tackle? Okay. Next, RFID is beginning to proliferate in the shipping industry according to the easy tracking of products. This is under fierce attack from many uniforms and other workers' right groups for infringing on worker freedom and possible health concerns. Next, RFID technology. Ella. The two primary components of RFID system shown in the figure. The whole first one is the whole RFID system requires the tags and the reader including the antenna to be opened. The RFID tags or transponders are normally located to the object. See here, the computer system. Reader sends the data to a computer system for processing. So a reader it is not a person or not a human being. It is a device which will take the information to the computer system. You are sitting on the computer, and you will view whatever the information is there, right? Then they will collect the information through the antenna where it is connected to the tag line, right? Now, are people to be identified. The RFID reader or interrogator provides read and write read facilities throughout the fixed mobile reader to communicate data to and from the tags. The following section explains the further components of RFID tags, readers, and antenna. Now see the examples. The passive RFID tag. See here. See this one. RFID transponder. This is the strip is nothing but RFID antenna. Next, see here, example of active RFID. So these are the RFID tags which are placed in electronic devices. Next, RFID readers, iCard, iCard 3 and iCard. Okay. Next, card your card 3 with an antenna, polarized antennas. So these are the some of the customized antennas where they are used for different applications. RFID management in materials management. RFID technology has grown dramatically in usage of industries such as manufacturing process, retail process, distribution process, and etc. Nevertheless, the RFID application has the short history in the construction industry also. However, the construction sector in the UK has shown interest in how the number of applications such as tags can be incorporated into the boilers and outdoors, also which can be used for most housing associations and management. Right, right. Next. So coming to the objectives, the productivity improvement takes place. Absolutely, we can take the productivity improvement. Availability of real-time data capture. Real-time data capture means at the current position, what's happening, what is the status of the goods, what is the status of the products, what is the status of the service. It will give information via electronic media, right? Next, better quality control. Absolutely, you're getting better quality control. Better stock control. So here also we can give the better stock control because of it will the RFID will give the information how many items are there in that how many items have been sold out, what are the balance items. So this information can be given through the reader. Next, web enabled customers information system. This is quite going naturally everywhere. So enter the web-enabled customer information system. So if you go to any shopping mall or any electronic shop, so first they will ask your name, what you are doing, if you are a student, so on, so if you are that person, so on, so. But when there is an inability of implementing, right? So the web-enabled customer identification, enable the information, right? Next point. Improved health and safety. So obviously the health is improved with this additional technology so that we can reduce the work timings so we can get relaxed. Next, RFID applications are used in the inventory tracking system in materials management, streamline materials tracking and expecting management, accurate material status and inventory. The application of RFID for tool tracking on construction job sites by developing a tool tracking and identification system. A model to track the progress of percentage of completed in construction projects by the adoption of RFID and wireless technology. See the simple examples of this one. Phone operated RFID. చూడండి first point. See the first case, first one. Next, second one, second application ఏంటి? Swiping machines. ఇది కూడా RFID టెక్నాలజీలో పనిచేస్తుంది. Next, sensor technology. This one also RFID with the watch, petrol, whatever, not only petrol, anything. Next, sharing of information, the Bluetooth, your other things. So your phone versus cell phone versus watch. So your machines, your calci, your car operated with a watch. Next, see the ID card. Okay, see the process. So here ID card reader. So you're having invoice or order, enterprise system in the database information. Information is in the ID form and the process storage, but it is a storage tech department where the product is going. RFID tag is placed for the product. So RFID tag is removed and the product is sent to the out gate. So like this the process will goes on. So take a screenshot. You are having less than 30 seconds. So tomorrow we'll do. So with this the class, the unit is completed totally, right?